All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is August 19th, 2026. Had a monster day today. That's says 20K, really got 25K, so who's counting? All right, so let's take a look at the market today and see what happened and what's going on. All right, so in the morning, the time, somebody came out with an announcement, I guess, and the price got bullish right here, broke through resistance. You can see some of the overnight consolidation and the pre-market consolidation. Nice bust up over the highs right there in the pre-market. Okay, that was a pre-market breakout. Green erases red right there. You could see the slope. See the slope on the 2-3 minute chart. A little bit of a slope. You can see price. The lows keep getting higher and higher and higher. So they were kind of winding up for that slope up there. And you got a nice breakout. We got a pullback back to the top of the base right here. We bought the dip, all right, and traded price all the way back up to here. All right, that was a target for us. It was, I believe, a call wall. Actually, you know what it was? We were supposed to gap fill over here. And in the notes this morning, if you were with me, we were looking for a complete gap fill. Failure to do a complete gap fill, which would have been 772.66. And you can see the high here was on that candle right there. The high was 772.47. So it's a complete miss. All right. And I said, if they miss filling the gap up here, all right, that's a bearish clue for me. All right. And I'll be looking to trade the reversal all the way back to VWAP. All right. Then we got a bounce up. Thought maybe they're going to go fill the gap this time. They came up short again, all right? And then it was puts all over again, all the way down to here, okay? Price consolidated underneath VWAP. That's always a bearish sign. You got a bear flag going on, so you kind of just trade from the top of the flag down to the bottom. And here we had a little breakdown. I thought for sure they're going to come down here, do the gap fill thing. They did not. So they're bouncing off of, the pre-market performance in the pre-market right here. So off the base right there, they're bouncing now. I actually think they get lower. We'll see what happens. All right, so there's SPY on the 3 minute. Let's move this stuff out of the way. Let's turn some of this stuff off because we're going to go look at some other charts. And let's take a look at the 3. Actually, let's get the 3 off of there. Okay, and let's go to the 10-minute chart. All right, on the 10-minute chart, we have into the close. Well, we're going to need the 3 for that one. Don't know what I was thinking. Okay, so into the close, got a little bit of daylight between the 3 and the 8. Got a 10-minute downtrend, not a very big downtrend. Looks like a 4-candle downtrend. So got 10-minute downtrend coming to the close. Bearish consolidation anyways. Okay, so on the 10-minute chart, 2-hour chart, we have, on the 2-hour chart, we have into the close, we've got bearish consolidation right through there. If I take the pre-market off, let's take that off and see what it looks like. Edit chart properties. Take the pre-market off. Yeah, you can see right there. You've got the 3 and the sticks. Well, the sticks are plotting on top of the 8, but the 3 is riding underneath the 8. And you've got daylight between the 3 and the 8. 2-hour downtrend coming into the close on the SPY 2-hour chart. On the daily chart, we are still bull flagging up here in the top. All right. So you can see price goes up and over to the right. I'm going to move this out of there because we don't need it anymore. You saw the channel that price was trading in. You saw the breakout. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. So we're still up at the top of quadrant 4. Today we made a higher low and a higher high. We closed under the bullish trap. We closed over the rising 17, still at the top of quadrant 4. So we're still bullish and in an uptrend, but things are not looking good. And if you look at the flag, all right, we can pretty much see that the flag, the dominant color of the flag is red. Okay, just pointing that out. All right, let's move this over. Okay, so you can see dominant color. Just look at the candles inside. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 candles there and 3 green. So 9 red candles, 3 green. The dominant color has been red so far. The flag is still holding together, all right? That's good for the flag, good for the bulls up there. Now, if we measure, let's move the flag out of here. Get the flag out of here. All right, if we take the quad lines, and let's just put them on the flag move right here. You can still see up here at the top, we are still in quadrant 4 of this flag right here. So we're still bullish, all right? But if things continue with the way they're going with all these red candles, I really envision a pullback to minor support, which would be the tops of these candles over here, which happens to be also the midpoint. And how far away is that? Just an FYI, that is 755 area right through there. 755, 756. You can see we're at 769 right now. All right, so that's like a $15 drop. That's a good size drop. All right, just saying for us to pull back to. All right, so SPY still bullish and in an uptrend up there. They have not made any lower lows, cutting through the 17 here. So we're bullish in an uptrend on the daily chart. Weekly chart still bullish, still in an uptrend. We have not made lower lows. You can see all the green dots through there. Monthly chart still bullish, still in an uptrend. Back to the daily chart. If we pan out, you can see the origin of our rally, which made a new all-time high, and then another rally that made a new all-time high. All originates back here in April. Okay, so we're still bullish at top of quadrant 4, bullish and in an uptrend on the daily chart. All right, let's take a look at QQQ. And for QQQ on the 10-minute chart, we got 10-minute. You can see price just moves over to the right. So it's not bullish. It's more bearish consolidation over here. And in the close, do we have daylight in there? We do. We have 2-candle downtrend, not a very strong downtrend. It's it's closer to being bearish consolidation than it is a 10-minute downtrend. But we have 2 candles plotting underneath the falling 8. And you got daylight between the 3 and the 8. I would really just classify this as bearish consolidation right there on the Qs. On the 2-hour chart, definitely a downtrend in the 2-hour. You can see the sticks and the 3 plotting 3 EMA, it's that yellow line, plotting underneath a falling 8 right there. So we have a 2-hour downtrend. You can see daylight between the 3 EMA and the 8 EMA, so we're bearish. All right, we're up on top of this all-time high anchor VWAP. All right, you can see us in quad lines. We are kind of in the middle, you know, almost down here at the bottom of the quadrant line, quadrant 4, but closer to probably being in the middle of quadrant 4. So there's QQQ on the daily chart. We are bullish because we're in quadrant 4. We're in the upper third. We haven't made any lower lows, so we're still in an uptrend. Okay, so that's QQQ on the daily chart. Still up over that all-time high anchored VWAP. Today's candle was, well, it's obviously a lower low and a lower high, and we closed under, see the 3 crossing the 8? So that's a bearish cross. Closed under a bearish cross, but over, see the green dots, over the rising 17 EMA. Again, over the, see the pink line, over the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's a pink line, in the middle of quadrant 4, so that's bullish, and we have yet to make lower lows because we got a high here, we made a higher high, so we're still in our uptrend. So we're bullish and in an uptrend, both for SPY and QQQ. QQQ weekly chart, still bullish, uptrend. Monthly chart, still bullish, still uptrend. Let's go take a look at IWM. IWM was pretty interesting yesterday, or the days before, about 4 days ago, made new all-time highs. Today's candle, higher low, higher high, and we closed inside a bullish trap over the rising 17 EMA. Very top of quadrant 4, that's bullish. We have not made any lower lows, so we're still in an uptrend for IWM. So that makes a SPY in an uptrend, bullish and in an uptrend. QQQ, bullish and in an uptrend. IWM, still bullish, still in an uptrend. All right, let's take a look at Diamond Dow. All right, Diamond Dow, higher low, higher high, closed inside a bearish trap over the, see the dots, over the rising 17. See how they rise from the green line up here to meet price. Okay, over the rising 17, we're in the middle of quadrant 4. I'll pan out. You can see the origin of all the rallies pretty much starts in April. We're in the middle of quadrant 4. So we're still bullish, all right? And we're still in an uptrend. We haven't made any lower lows, but let's just look at this. Since making that new all-time high, nothing but, well, I'm going to call it butter melting right there, okay? Just keeps getting softer and softer and softer. Okay, so there's Diamond Dow, bullish and in an uptrend to go along with QQQ, SPY, and IWM, also bullish and in an uptrend. Let's take a look at FNGU. And for FNGU, let's take this out of there. We don't need that. Okay, so looks like an outside day, meaning it got a higher high and a lower low. Nice green candle today. Little bulls kind of showing up, all right, in the class. We closed under bearish trap. We closed over, see the green dots, rising 17 EMA. We closed over, see the pink line, all-time high anchored VWAP. We are in the bottom of quadrant 4. I'll pan out. Origin of the rally back here at the beginning of April. We are in the bottom of quadrant 4 up here. 1, 2, 3. Bottom of quadrant 4. We got a high here. We still made a higher high. So we're bullish and in an uptrend for FNGU. Let's take a look at silver and gold. Silver and gold came alive today. So silver gaps up. So higher low, higher high, closed over a bullish trap over the rising 17. I'll pan out. Still in quadrant 2. We're now at the top of quadrant 2. We were in the middle of quadrant 2. Origin of this rally starts back in 2022. And the all-time high was made in January of 2026 right there. That makes this pink line the all-time high anchored VWAP. And we are putting in a bull flag. See, price moves up and over to the right. See that holding the higher ground? That's like planking. That's a show of strength. That's like, doing 20 push-ups, 50 push-ups right there, okay? That's a lot for me, by the way. So even one is a lot for me. So silver, bullish, all right, is neutral, not bullish, That's a bull flag, but we are neutral because we're not in the upper third. It's not in the lower third right here. That'd be below the crosshairs. Not in the upper third. That'd be above the crosshairs. So we're in the middle ground. So we're neutral, but we're still in an uptrend. You see the high here? We made a higher high, so we're neutral and in an uptrend for silver. Let's take a look at gold. All right, gold, you can see gold had a very, very, very nice day. Higher low, higher high. Closed over a bullish trap. Closed over the rising 17. I'm going to say it again if I didn't say it 2 or 3 times. I think silver and gold have dates, all right, with their all-time high anchored VWAPs, all right? So that's the pink lines. Okay, so here's gold closing over the bullish trap, over the rising 17. That is in the upper third, not in quadrant 4, but it's in the upper third. So that is bullish. And you can see they made a high, they made a higher high. Obviously high here, higher high here. Bullish and in an uptrend for gold. Silver neutral and in an uptrend because remember silver was down here in the neutral zone at the top of quadrant 2. Remember the bullish zone is up here, the upper third of the quad lines. Okay, so that'd be above the crosshairs. Again, gold made its new all-time high in January of 2026, just like silver. And you can see the origin of this rally begins in the middle or the late 2022 right there. So nice rally on gold and coming alive recently here. And you can see price moves up, holds the higher ground. And look at that, having a nice little breakout today. So that's gold. Let's take a look at USO. All right, here's USO is a higher low, higher high, closed over a bullish trap. Over, see the dots? The rising 17 EMA. Closed over, see the pink line? That's a 14-year high anchored VWAP right there. Last time we were up in this area was 14 years ago. This is a 14-year high anchored VWAP, which makes it a pretty strong one right there. And you can see we are in the bottom of pan out, so you can see that. Quadrant 4, so we're bullish because we're in the upper third. All right, and we have a high made here. And yesterday, USO, because they made a higher high yesterday, they negated the downtrend and converted an uptrend. So we have USO bullish and in an uptrend. They were bullish and in a downtrend. It was a dysfunctional downtrend because here's a low. They made the lower low. That put them in the downtrend. But look, after making the downtrend, look at what price did. It did nothing but melt up or over to the right. So that is now, because we made a higher high, we're now bullish and in an uptrend. Before we were bullish and in a dysfunctional downtrend. Now we're bullish and in an uptrend for USO, which kind of joins GLD and the rest of the indexes, all right, all being bullish and in uptrends. Take a look at UNG. UNG came alive yesterday. Curious what it's doing today. Big gap up on UNG here. Sold off all day. So higher low, higher high. See where it gapped up? So they went from here, gapped up to there, and sold off all day. So higher low, higher high, closed over bullish cross, closed under falling 17. See the red dots? Okay, so there's no green dot here, so they closed under it. So closed under the falling 17, and I'll pan way out. And you can see this is like a 17-month high anchored VWAP. 17-month, not years. 17-month high anchored VWAP. And you can see we're in the bottom of quadrant 1. That makes us bearish. All right. So we're bearish. And if we made a higher high today, that was the high to beat. And it looks like, yeah, we did. We cleared it. I see daylight up there. Over the top of that wick. All right, so that's bearish, but in an uptrend, all right, for UNG. UNG finally gets another uptrend. It's been a while since UNG was in an uptrend. You can see they failed to make higher highs here. They failed here. And now they finally got one, okay? Well, if you keep moving the bar lower, eventually they're going to get one, okay? Just saying, even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while, okay? So there's UNG, bearish. It's bearish because it's in the lower quadrant 1, but in an uptrend right now. So starting a new uptrend for UNG. That's the daily chart. Let's take a look at internals, T2101. That's participation. And you can see the market dipping again on the participation market breadth right down to yesterday's lows. And we did not even reach yesterday's highs. So give this one to the bears again. Okay, they just keep controlling the price participation, aka market breadth here on T2101. Another one for the bears, T2122. Look at this bullish gap up, but we sell off all day. Bullish gap up, sell off all day. I gotta tell you, I mean, we come out of the seller's chop zone into the buy zone. That's a bullish move for me. And they kept it out of the seller's chop zone all day after reaching that lower high. Because here's the high, they reached a lower high, and a higher low right there. So this one goes to the bulls. T2122, remember? T2101 goes to the bears. T2122, that's bullish right there. That goes to the bulls. T2123, oh my gosh, bullish gap up. Bears didn't fill it all day long. Is that a new all-time high? OMG. T2123 prints a new all-time high today. Look at that right there. So hard not to be in a bullish and in an uptrend when you print new all-time highs. While you probably couldn't tell that from the market selling off all day today, T2123 prints new all-time high. Again, it's always great to be over the 200 SMA. That's where you want to be if you're a bull. The bears failed to fill the gap all day long, showing you bullish control up there. Obviously, you got a high. You made a higher high. Obviously, that's going to be an uptrend for T2123. On the 3-bar chart, brand new all-time highs. That's going to be bullish and in an uptrend on the 3-bar chart as well. You can see we're up over the rising 200 SMA on FNGU, so that's bullish and in an uptrend. Remember, new all-time highs. FNGU is, see what we got here. We got nice rally, all right? Nice rally. Left a little gap down. The bulls filled the gap. They got up over, see the falling 17. They got up on top of that. All right. Did they make a higher high? No, they did not. Did they make a lower low? Well, we have a low here, but it's the same low as we haven't got any rips up here. So we got a high there and a low here. So we got a lower low. So we're, but now we've got a high. Is this a higher high? Yes, it is. So we've got an uptrend on FNGU. If we're going to count this as a high, we're going to have to count this as a high as well. So that makes it a higher high. So they're up here in neutral land, okay? So we're neutral because we're not in the upper third, and we're in an uptrend, but we're under the hooking or the rolling over 200 SMA. We got a high here. We made a higher high right there. Okay, so we got a high right there, one candle high, higher high. So that makes us an uptrend. So we are neutral, but in an uptrend on FNGU. So not too bad for FNGU to make an outside day, really, because they made, see the lows of yesterday, they made lower lows, and they made higher highs. So that's neutral in an uptrend. All right, so is Robert here today? He was going to give me some products today, and he must have forgot. If not, it's okay. All right, so that looks like it's it. If anyone's got something you want me to look at, I'm all yours right now. Take a peek at anything.